Have you ever felt completely alone, like the world around you has quieted down and you're left with just your thoughts? Not just physically alone, but that deep, soul-level solitude where nothing else seems to reach you. Maybe you've been searching for something that can fill the empty spaces inside. What if I told you that in this very moment of stillness, when you feel most alone, you are actually in the presence of something far greater than you could imagine? Something so powerful, so pure, that it can calm every storm raging inside your heart. There is a sacred space that exists beyond noise, beyond chaos, beyond the distractions that pull at your mind. It's a place where the deepest peace lives. A peace that doesn't depend on circumstances or people. This peace is found only in being truly alone with God's presence. It's a gentle invitation to pause, to breathe, and to realize that you are never truly alone. This presence is not distant or unreachable, it is close, closer than your own breath, more intimate than your closest thought. Imagine a quiet room inside your soul, untouched by fear or worry. In this space, nothing demands your attention except the steady, calm heartbeat of divine love. You may not see it, but it's there. You may not hear it at first, but it speaks softly, like a whisper just beyond your ear, reminding you that you are deeply known and profoundly loved. When you step into this moment, when you stop chasing after answers and simply allow yourself to be, you enter a sacred encounter with God's presence. And in that encounter, you begin to feel something shift inside you. A lifting of weight, a softening of pain, a rise of hope. This experience is not just for the saints or the perfect. It is for you right now, with all your doubts and fears and questions. The moment you stop running from your loneliness and instead lean into it with an open heart, you open the door to something miraculous. God's presence becomes a refuge, a place where your soul can rest, heal, and be renewed. The beauty of this presence is that it doesn't demand anything from you. No perfect prayers, no grand gestures, just your willingness to be still and receive. This stillness is not empty. It is full of life. It is full of promise. It is full of a love so vast that it can hold every broken piece of you and make you whole again. When you allow yourself to be alone with God, you begin to discover a truth that changes everything. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. There is a difference between isolation and solitude with the divine. Loneliness feels like a prison, but solitude with God is freedom. It is the freedom to be yourself, to let go of masks, and to rest in unconditional acceptance. Many people run from moments of solitude because they fear what they might find inside. But what if the deepest treasure lies precisely in that solitude? What if the quiet moments when you feel most alone are actually invitations to meet the divine? The presence of God is not an abstract idea or a distant hope. It is a living reality that meets you wherever you are, right in your pain, your confusion, your longing. And in this presence you find a peace that does not depend on your circumstances, a calm that can steady your restless heart. There is something profoundly healing about knowing you are accompanied by this presence. It changes how you see yourself and the world around you. It shifts your perspective from fear to faith, from doubt to trust. When you learn to dwell in this presence, you begin to understand that you are part of a greater story, a story of love, hope, and redemption. This understanding fuels a quiet confidence, a knowing that no matter what happens, you are held and cared for beyond measure. As you listen closely, you might notice a gentle stirring within, a soft nudge encouraging you to pause and connect. This nudge is a gift, an invitation to turn inward and recognize the divine light shining quietly inside you. It's a reminder that even in your darkest hours, you carry this light, this presence, with you. The world may feel heavy and uncertain, but inside this sacred space, there is a calm that no trouble can take away. If you let this presence wash over you, you will find yourself breathing easier, feeling lighter. The worries that weighed down your mind begin to lose their grip. In this space, healing begins. Your heart learns to trust again. Your soul remembers the truth that it was created for love, for peace, for connection with the divine. This is the reward waiting for you in the quiet. Peace beyond what words can describe, a comfort so deep it fills every crack of your being. So if you stay here now, if you lean into this moment of stillness, something powerful will happen. You will feel less burdened, less alone. You will sense the invisible arms of grace holding you close. You will begin to understand that God's presence is not just a distant idea, but a living reality you can carry with you every day, every moment. This is the secret of true peace. It doesn't come from changing your outside world, but from discovering the unshakable presence inside. It is a peace that anchors your soul in the storms of life. It is a peace that invites you to be whole, to be seen, to be loved exactly as you are. And this peace, this presence, is waiting for you right now. Just take a breath. Let go. Be still. You are not alone. Never have been. Never will be. Stay with this truth. Let it sink deep into your heart. The rest of your journey begins here. When you begin to sense God's presence around you, it changes how you experience every moment. This presence is not just a feeling. It is a powerful reality that grounds you in the middle of life's storms. Even when everything outside feels uncertain or chaotic, inside this presence, there is a steady calm that cannot be shaken. It is like the quiet in the eye of a hurricane, safe and still while the world spins wildly around you. This presence is a reminder that you are never truly abandoned. No matter how alone you feel, there is a constant companion walking beside you. You don't need to search for this presence in distant places or special rituals. It is already here, close, near, surrounding you like invisible light. Sometimes it shows up in a moment of stillness, sometimes in the whisper of your own heart, but it is always there, waiting for you to notice. Understanding this presence is a deep comfort to the human spirit because it answers a fundamental need inside all of us, the need to belong, to be known, and to be loved. When your mind races with worries, or your heart feels heavy with doubt, this presence holds space for you. It listens without judgment and loves without conditions. This kind of presence is rare in the world, and that is why it brings such peace and rest. Faith is what connects us to this presence. It is an invisible thread that pulls us gently toward hope, even when we cannot see the way clearly. Faith does not promise that life will be easy, but it does promise that you will never be alone in facing it. When you hold on to faith, you anchor yourself in something stronger than your fears. You find courage to keep moving forward. Even when the path seems dark, this courage grows quietly, deep inside, fueled by the assurance that this presence surrounds you and will never leave you. When you trust in this presence and let faith root itself within your soul, your perspective begins to shift. Problems don't disappear, but you begin to see them through a new lens. Challenges become opportunities to grow stronger. Pain becomes a doorway to deeper understanding and compassion. And loneliness turns into a sacred moment of connection with the divine. This is the power of being truly present with God. It transforms not only your moments of solitude, but your entire life. Faith is not just a word, it is the invisible anchor that holds your soul steady when the waves of life threaten to pull you under. It is the quiet strength that whispers, "You are not alone," even when every doubt inside screams otherwise. Faith doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you trust in something greater than your fears, something steady when everything else feels unstable. This trust becomes the foundation beneath your feet, the unshakable ground you stand on when storms rage around you. In moments when life feels heavy, faith is the light that guides you through darkness. It gives you the courage to take one more step, to breathe through the pain, and to believe in hope beyond what you can see. When fear and uncertainty try to overwhelm your heart, faith gently pulls you back, reminding you that you are connected to a presence that never fails, never leaves, and never lets go. This kind of faith is not built on proof or certainty. It is built on relationship, an ongoing connection that grows deeper in the quiet, unseen places of your heart. The more you lean into this connection, the more your faith becomes a living force, a source of peace and power inside you. It whispers calm to your anxious mind and strengthens your spirit in ways nothing else can. Faith also opens the door to prayer, not just as words spoken, but as a sacred conversation between your heart and the divine. Prayer is a language of faith in motion. It is where you bring your fears, your hopes, your gratitude, and your pain. In this dialogue, you discover that prayer is not about changing God, but about allowing yourself to be changed. It shifts your perspective, calms your restless thoughts, and fills your soul with a deep, quiet peace. When you practice faith through prayer, you start to notice how this presence moves in your life. It may come as gentle reassurance, a sudden clarity, or an unexpected calm. These moments are gifts, reminders that you are held, guided, and deeply loved. Faith transforms your experience of being alone from something fearful to something sacred, a place where your soul can rest and be renewed. Prayer is not just a ritual or a set of words, it is the most intimate conversation you can have. It is the space where your soul reaches out, where your heart speaks freely without fear or pretense. When you pray, you are not trying to convince or bargain with something distant. Instead, you are opening yourself up to a presence that already knows you, your struggles, your hopes, your deepest needs. Prayer becomes a sacred exchange, a lifeline that connects your heart directly to the source of all peace and strength. This connection through prayer calms the mind when anxiety races and soothes the heart when it feels heavy. It invites a stillness that is hard to find in the noise of everyday life. In this stillness, you begin to listen, not for answers shouted from the sky, but for a gentle whisper inside that says, "I am here. You are not alone." This whisper carries more power than any storm because it roots you in a reality beyond what you see or understand. Prayer is also a way to release. It allows you to give your burdens away, even when the problems remain. It is a sacred act of trust, surrendering your worries to a presence greater than yourself. When you release your fears through prayer, you create space for peace to enter. This peace doesn't always come as a sudden rush, but often as a quiet, steady calm that grows stronger with each breath. In prayer, you don't have to have the right words or even words at all. Sometimes the deepest prayers are silent, just a longing in the heart, a breath drawn in hope. This is the beauty of prayer. It meets you exactly where you are without judgment or expectation. It honors your truth and gently invites you into a deeper connection with the divine presence that surrounds you. Through prayer, you begin to see that you are held in a love that never fades, a peace that never fails. It becomes a place where your soul can rest, recharge, and find new strength to face life's challenges. This sacred conversation is not about changing the world, but about being changed by the presence that walks with you, guides you, and comforts you in every moment. Sometimes the most powerful messages come in silence, when everything around you is still and the noise of the world fades away. That is when the presence of God speaks the loudest. It may not be with booming words or dramatic signs, but with a quiet, gentle whisper that moves your heart and calms your mind. In these moments of silence, clarity begins to rise, and the restless thoughts that cloud your spirit start to settle. Silence can feel uncomfortable at first, especially when your mind is full of worries and unanswered questions. But it is in this silence that you begin to sense a deeper truth. You are not alone. The stillness holds a sacred space where healing and peace can grow. When you resist the urge to fill every quiet moment with noise or distraction, you open yourself to receiving a profound gift, a peace that passes understanding. This kind of silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is a presence that embraces you completely, without conditions or expectations. It whispers reassurance when fear tries to take hold and offers comfort when sadness weighs heavy on your soul. It reminds you that there is a calm center inside you that no storm can touch. Learning to trust the silence means learning to trust the unseen. It means believing that even when you cannot hear or feel God's presence clearly, it is still there, steady, constant, and true. This trust becomes a powerful source of strength. It helps you let go of the need to control every outcome and allows you to rest in the hands of a loving presence that cares deeply for you. In this sacred silence, you begin to understand that God's presence is not just about moments of joy or answers to prayers. It is about being fully known and fully loved, even in your doubts and fears. It is about finding peace not because life is perfect, but because you are held perfectly. When you embrace this silence, you step into a space of deep healing where your soul can breathe freely and your heart can find rest. Fear and doubt are like shadows that creep into our minds when we feel alone or uncertain. They whisper lies that tell us we are not enough, that we are forgotten, or that help will never come. These feelings can paralyze the heart, making it hard to move forward or believe in something better. Yet, even in these darkest moments, the presence of God stands as a shield, quietly pushing back the shadows with a light that never fades. This presence does not erase fear instantly, but it offers a steady refuge where fear loses its power. It reminds you that you are not defined by your worries or your doubts. You are more than your failures, your pain, and your uncertainties. When fear tries to take control, this presence invites you to breathe, to release the tight grip of anxiety, and to trust in something greater. Doubt often sneaks in when answers don't come quickly or when life feels unfair. But doubt does not have to be a barrier, it can become a doorway. When you bring your doubts honestly into this presence, without hiding or pretending, you open the path to deeper faith. This kind of faith is not blind or forced, it is real and tested, built through struggle and honesty. The presence of God listens to your fears and doubts without judgment. It does not condemn you for feeling weak or uncertain. Instead, it meets you with compassion and gentle strength. In this sacred space, you are free to be exactly who you are. Broken, searching, hopeful, and within this freedom, healing begins. You begin to understand that fear and doubt are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. They may come and go, but the presence that holds you remains. This presence carries you through the hardest nights and into mornings filled with new hope. It whispers courage into your heart and reminds you that no matter how dark the path seems, you are never walking it alone. There is a gentle, angelic voice that often goes unnoticed amid the noise of life, a quiet whisper that carries pure encouragement and hope. This voice is not just a metaphor, it is the tender inspiration that rises from the presence surrounding you. Like an unseen angel by your side, it speaks softly to your heart, reminding you of your strength, your worth, and the light you carry within. When life feels overwhelming or dark, this angelic whisper becomes a source of comfort. It reaches into your deepest fears and lifts you gently, like a soft breeze that calms a raging fire inside. It doesn't shout or demand, instead it offers a sacred kind of encouragement that feels like a warm hand on your shoulder, steadying you when you feel unsteady. This inspiration is subtle but powerful. It stirs your spirit to keep going, even when the path is unclear. It reminds you that you are not defined by your struggles, but by the courage you show in facing them. The angelic voice urges you to believe in the possibility of peace, even when it seems distant. You don't have to see this presence to feel its power. It works quietly in your life, planting seeds of hope and faith that grow slowly but surely. Sometimes it comes as a sudden insight, a shift in perspective that helps you see your situation differently. Other times it's the steady, gentle pull to keep moving forward, one small step at a time. When you listen closely, this whisper becomes a guide, leading you away from despair and toward healing. It encourages you to trust that you are never alone, that divine love surrounds you always, protecting and inspiring you. This angelic presence offers a deep reassurance. No matter how heavy your burdens, you are held, uplifted, and deeply cared for. True peace is not found in a life without problems. It is not the absence of pain, sadness, or uncertainty. True peace comes from the presence of God within you, a peace that holds steady even when the world around you is shaking. It is a calm so deep that it transcends your understanding, a quiet strength that anchors your soul through every storm. This peace does not depend on changing your circumstances. It does not promise an easy path or a life free from challenges. Instead, it offers something far greater, the assurance that no matter what happens, you are held by a love that never fails. When you feel overwhelmed by fear or weighed down by sorrow, this peace is the refuge that keeps you from falling apart. It is like a still lake that reflects the sky above, undisturbed by the wind or waves. Inside, the surface may ripple, but deep down, there is a quietness that remains untouched. This is the kind of peace that comes from knowing you are never truly alone. It is the presence of God resting within your heart, bringing comfort and hope. This peace changes how you face life's difficulties. Instead of being consumed by worry or despair, you learn to trust that there is a greater purpose at work. You begin to see your struggles not as endless burdens, but as moments that shape you, teach you, and draw you closer to the divine. This understanding does not remove pain, but it softens its grip and opens space for healing. When you live with this peace, your heart grows lighter, your mind finds rest, and your spirit gains strength. It becomes easier to let go of what you cannot control and to embrace the present moment with courage. This peace is a gift, quiet, powerful, and life-changing, waiting for you whenever you choose to welcome it in. Pain is one of the most powerful forces in life. It can weigh down your spirit and cloud your vision, but when you connect with God's presence, that pain begins to change. It does not disappear immediately, but it transforms. What once felt like a heavy burden starts to become a source of strength. Your suffering, when held in this sacred presence, becomes the soil where courage and resilience grow. This transformation happens because you are no longer facing your pain alone. The divine presence walks with you through every moment of hurt and struggle. It holds your broken pieces gently and lovingly, reminding you that your pain does not define you. Instead, it becomes a pathway, a journey that deepens your soul and expands your capacity to love and understand. When you open your heart to this presence, you begin to see your challenges differently. They are no longer just obstacles to overcome, but lessons that shape your character and spirit. Each trial teaches you something valuable: patience, humility, compassion, or hope. In this light, pain becomes a teacher rather than a tormentor. This does not mean pain loses its sting, but its meaning changes. You start to realize that through your struggles, you are being prepared for something greater. Your strength grows quietly, often unnoticed, like a seed pushing through the earth toward the sun. This strength is not just physical or mental, it is spiritual. It roots you deeply in faith and gives you the courage to keep moving forward. When you carry your pain with the awareness of God's presence, it no longer isolates you. Instead, it connects you to a deeper source of healing and power. This connection becomes a refuge where your soul can rest and renew, a place where your brokenness is met with love and transformed into light. In this sacred space, pain becomes the doorway to a stronger, more resilient you. When you begin to live with the awareness of God's light inside you, everything changes. This light is not just a feeling or a fleeting moment of happiness. It is a steady guiding force that shines even in your darkest times. It is the presence that illuminates your path, showing you the way forward when the road seems uncertain and full of shadows. This light is a reminder of your true nature, created to shine, to love, and to bring hope to the world around you. When you carry this light within, you begin to see yourself differently. You recognize your worth and your power to overcome challenges. You learn that no matter what you face, there is a part of you that remains unbreakable, untouched by fear or failure. Living in God's light means you don't have to hide your struggles or pretend to be perfect. It means embracing your whole self, the broken parts and the beautiful parts, and trusting that this light can shine through every piece of your story. This light gives you courage to be authentic, to step forward with confidence, and to share your truth with the world. This inner light also guides your actions. It inspires kindness, patience, and compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. When you live in this light, you understand that healing and growth take time. You learn to be gentle with yourself when things don't go as planned, and to celebrate even the smallest steps forward. More than anything, this light reminds you that you are never alone. It is a constant companion, a flame that cannot be extinguished. It shines brightest when you face difficulties, reminding you that there is always hope, always a way through. When you carry God's light inside, you carry peace, strength, and love. Gifts that can transform not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Faith is not something to be kept hidden or only called upon in times of crisis. It is a living, breathing part of your daily life, a source of strength and guidance that you can carry with you every moment. When you choose to carry faith forward, it becomes like a compass, helping you navigate challenges and uncertainties with confidence and hope. This kind of faith is not about having all the answers or knowing exactly how things will turn out. It is about trusting in a presence greater than yourself, believing that no matter what happens, you are held and cared for. This trust allows you to face difficulties without being overwhelmed by fear or doubt. It gives you the courage to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. When faith is part of your everyday life, prayer becomes a natural expression, a way to stay connected to the divine presence within and around you. It is not just something you do in moments of need, but a continuous conversation that nourishes your soul and strengthens your spirit. This ongoing connection fills you with peace and resilience, helping you face life's ups and downs with grace. Carrying faith forward also means allowing it to shape how you see yourself and the world. It encourages you to see challenges as opportunities for growth and to believe in the possibility of change. It helps you hold on to hope, even when circumstances seem difficult or unfair. This faith is not just for your own benefit. It becomes a light that shines for others, inspiring and encouraging those around you. When you live with faith, you become a source of strength and comfort for people who may be struggling in their own lives. Choosing to carry faith forward is a powerful decision. It transforms your everyday moments into opportunities to connect with something deeper, to find peace amidst chaos, and to live with a sense of purpose and hope that can never be taken away. No matter where you are in life, no matter how heavy your heart feels, there is a sacred promise that remains true. You are never truly alone. This promise is not just a comforting thought, it is a living reality rooted in the presence of God that surrounds and fills you at every moment. It is an unbreakable bond that offers hope and strength when everything else seems to fail. This presence is like a faithful companion who walks beside you quietly and steadily without demanding or judging. It knows your struggles, your fears, and your dreams. It carries you when your legs grow weary and lifts your spirit when it feels crushed. This companionship is a source of endless comfort, a reminder that you belong to something far greater than your circumstances. When life feels isolating or overwhelming, this promise becomes a lifeline. It reassures your soul that no matter how dark the night or how long the storm, the dawn is coming. You are held in a love so deep and unchanging that nothing can separate you from it. This truth does not erase pain or hardship, but it softens their edges and gives you the strength to endure. Knowing this sacred promise changes how you face each day. It fills you with quiet confidence and peace because you are rooted in a presence that never leaves or forsakes you. It reminds you that even in moments of silence or solitude, you are accompanied by a love that is always near. This promise invites you to rest, to breathe, and to trust. It calls you to open your heart and receive the peace and strength that come from being truly known and deeply loved. When you hold on to this promise, you step into a life filled with hope, no longer weighed down by loneliness, but lifted by the constant presence of God walking with you every step of the way.